and welcome to Contouring Conspiracies. My name is Audrey, and if you are looking to see how this look was done today, please stay tuned. And if you enjoy what you see, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as it helps my channel grow. Alrighty guys, so to start today's look, we are going to begin with the moisturizer and serum. I've already gone in and taken care of mine, so we're going to move on to the next step. I'm going to begin with my foundation. We're going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation in Fair Beige. And I'm going to be blending that in with a dampened beauty blender. So we're just going to go ahead and get the product on the applicator and get a nice even amount laid out. Okay, now that we have foundation all over our face, we're gonna go in and get that nice and blended in. Blend as much as you need to, more or less, whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as it's all even and you don't have any streaks. Okay, now that we have that foundation evenly blended in, we're going to move on to our contour. I am doing a little bit of a lighter look today, not completely full glam, so we're not going to be doing both the contour and we're not going to be using both the cream and powder contour. We're only going to be using the powder today. So I'm going to go in with my Pacifica bronzer and contour palette. Again, this is an older one, so I'm not too sure what shade it is. I'm honestly just going to go with like a medium shade. We're going to be taking an angled fluffy brush and going in with this contour shade here, just picking up a good amount on the end of your brush. You're going to be blending into this contour cheekbone area here. Be careful not to drag it too far down. You don't want it to look muddy and like you're like dirty. You just want to have a nice defined line. You're really just adding shadows to your face to create a sharper structure whenever you're doing this contour. Going to the other side. Whew. Forgive me guys, it's like 104 degrees today. It's ridiculous. Go in and do our nose now. Normally I do use a smaller fluffy brush whenever I'm trying to be really nice and defined on my nose, but today, since we're doing a much softer look, I don't want the lines to be too harsh. So we're just gonna do a nice little brush. Okay, we're going to do our forehead. And then we're going to go in and add a little bit more structure and sharpness to that jawline. So right under that jawline, just adding that powder. Really blending it out so it doesn't look like you have a weird little mask on your face. Okay, now that we have that contour all laid out and blended in. It's all nice and even. We don't have any sharp lines. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next step, which is gonna be blush. Today we are using our Lovecraft Beauty palette for our blush. And I think today, since we are doing kind of a pink shade, we're gonna go with a lighter pink blush. And I'm gonna use the Alfeda shade. It's just a really pretty, light, rosy pink shade, and I'm gonna be using a nice fluffy brush for that. Especially today on hot days like this, you do not need to add too much blush. You're gonna be pink already. So just very lightly. Your cheeks, you can do under your nose. I like to do my chin as well. Alrighty, now that we have that blush all laid out, I'm going to go ahead and do my powder as well. Today we are using the Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room Matte About It matte powder. I love this stuff. It is so wonderful, very light. It's not like a really heavy powder. We're going to be taking a little bit of it on the end of our beauty blender and really packing it into those areas that crease, so under the eyes, around the nose, smile lines, things like that. Just a little bit there. Okay, and we are just going to be packing that in under our eyes very lightly. You don't want to add too much so you're not all cakey. You do want to make sure that you have nice coverage, so all that hard work you're doing doesn't just come off as soon as you sweat. Okay, we have that powder packed in there. We're gonna go in with a bigger fluffy brush and lightly dust the rest of our face with that powder, and then we'll move on to our brows. Okay, so we have that powder all in and set. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our brows. We're actually using a couple different products today. I just wanna test out how they work well together. We'll see. So we're gonna be using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in Cool Brown and the Avon Ultra Luxury Brow Liner in Dark Brown. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna brush out these brows. Now I'm going to draw on the base with my Precise liner. Okay, and now we're going to go in with the brow pencil. Since this is a little thicker, I'm just going to use it to do the rest of my brows. I just wanted to get a nice defined line on this bottom here. Alright, and now that we have these brows all laid out, we're going to go ahead and blend them in with this here spoolie. Like usual, we're going to start with an upward motion at the front and slowly rotate our brush horizontally so we can get the rest of the brow. Okay, brows on and cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next step, which is gonna be our eyeshadow. We are doing a super pretty pink color today, so I'm very excited for a couple different palettes that we're gonna be using. As usual, we're gonna start off with our primer from the Autobahn Pick Perf palette here. Just open her up. And then here is that neutral primer. I'm going to take a nice soft brush and get that all applied to all over our lids. Okay, primer is on. We're gonna go in and start with our shadows. We are going to be using our Mermaids Only palette today from Natalie Ann Cosmetics. If you're not familiar with this brand, I highly recommend you check them out on NatalieAnn_Cosmetics on Instagram. It's an amazing Latina-owned small business here in Dallas, and honestly, they're just incredible. They have these amazing pigmented shades. Pretty much all the lashes I own are from there, and here soon I'll be doing some videos with their liners, so stay tuned for those because they're highly pigmented and I cannot wait to do some crazy looks. But for now, we're going to start off with this beautiful sand shade. That is going to be our middle transition color today, so we're going to pick that up with a light fluffy brush and add that to the crease area of our eye. We're just going to go in and very lightly add it to the middle area, getting a nice kind of neutral zone going on here. And we're not doing a really sharp look today, so we're not going to have any sticky notes or anything to create that really defined line in the corner of our eye. But if you want to do that, you go on right ahead. I'm just too lazy for it today. Alrighty, so we're going to be following up with this gorgeous Queen shade. It looks like a really kind of sienna color, not to be like any type of way, but it goes on like a really kind of red, burnt red color. It's so beautiful. So we're going to just use a little bit of that. We're going to add that to the outside corner and blend it inward to the middle. Same thing on the other eye. I do like to kind of work back and forth between my eyes. I find it just helps me achieve a closer level of, you know, evenness on both sides rather than doing one eye and moving on to the other one. But you know, work how you choose, however you feel comfortable, whatever works best for you. I think it's basically just color it on your face. And I live for it. Okay, now that we have that Queen color all in the corner of our eye blended inwards, we're going to move on to a different palette just for a moment. I'm going to be using the Smashbox Cover Shot Ablaze Eye Palette. I'm going to open it up so you can see. And then we're going to be going in with the Nirvana color here. It's almost like a lighter shade of that Queen color. And we're just going to be using that again on the outer eye and blending it a little bit more inwards towards the front of our eye. To the other side. Again, we're not picking up too much of the product. We don't want this to be too dark. It is going to be lightened up a lot whenever we add the top color on the brow. Don't worry if it gets a little messy right now. You can always fix it later. Alrighty, with that Nirvana shade all laid into the crease here, we're going to move on and actually block out this area with a little bit of concealer so we can lay on that pink, and it'll be really nice and pigmented and really defined on top of the darker shades that we have going on. So I'm going to take that same brush that we actually used for the primer, and I'm going to go in with my concealer. Okay, we're just going to block out that area. And I'm actually not going to take it all the way to the end of my eye. I still want to have some of these darker colors in there just to add a little bit more of the definition. So we're just going to stop it like 3/4 of the way down your eye. Because the pink is the star of the show today. Alrighty, so after we have gone in and blocked out the eye part of our eye with that concealer, we're going to move on with that really pink shade, and we're going to be using one more palette today, the Hello Charmer palette from our BoxyCharm. This is one of my favorite palettes from BoxyCharm. It's got so many pretty colors. As you can see here, they're absolutely beautiful. All of them are very pigmented. They don't really have much fallout. They seem to last for quite some time without any like a staining or anything. But today we're going to be using that really pretty unboxing color, and we're just going to pack it into our lid. I'm going to be going in with a slightly flatter, fluffy brush. Okay, and as you can see, it is so pigmented and it's just such a pretty color. We're just going to pack it on really nicely there. And I'm going to be doing a nice shimmery overlay, so if it looks like it's the same color, don't worry because we're going to add glitter. Okay, now that we have that gorgeous unboxing color on there, we're gonna go in with this really pretty swipe up pink with like blue and green glitter in it, and we're just gonna add a little bit to the middle part of our lid. with that same fluffy brush. Actually, we're just gonna put it on wood. Let's not lie to ourselves. That was the plan from the beginning. Now the glitter does have like the teensiest bit of fallout, but it is glitter, so that's to be expected. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Okay, other eye. I just want to live in this glitter. It is so pretty. Okay, so we are going to go in one last time with that Natalie and Cosmetics palette. We're going to take a little bit of that sand shade and we're just going to add it to our brow bone. I'm going to be doing that again with a small fluffy brush. And this step, I really like to use it to knock out any defined lines at the top here. You don't want it to be too blocky unless that's, you know, the look that you're going for. Today, that's not the one I'm going for. Get that all nice and blended. Almost forgot, we're going to take a little bit more of that unboxing color from our Hello Charmer palette, and we're going to add just the teensiest bit to the underside of our eye, just to draw those colors together. And I'll just use the fluffy side, or sorry, the flat side of one of my fluffy brushes. And as usual, for the underside, we are going to start at the back of our eye and extend it inward so it's not too dark once you hit that inner eye. Dog hair. I hate it. Okay. So we have the unboxing color under our eyes, we have sand on our brow bones, everything is nice and blended. Now we can finally go in and add our wings. So today we are going to be using the Revlon Color Stay Skinny Liquid Liner, and I believe this one is Blackout. Give it a nice shake. And I'm going to use actually a smaller mirror for this. I find it just helps me move around a little bit better. Take the brush here. This is what the little brush looks like. And then I like to work on both sides, so I'll do my little line over here. And I found the easiest key to getting easy wings without having to draw panda eyes is just small strokes. Now we'll go back to the other side and draw a triangle. Go fill in the other eye. Okay, now that we have our wings on and taken care of, we can move on to our mascara. We are using our IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara today in Super Black. If you haven't seen it before, this is what the brush kind of looks like. I love this formula. It is so pigmented. It's not flaky like some other mascaras, and it comes off super easy without having to damage your lashes. Okay, mascara is all on. We can go ahead and move on to our next step, which is going to be highlighter. We are going to be using our Ofra highlighter in Rodeo Drive today. This is what the inside looks like. It is a super gorgeous, just golden color. Just gonna be using the tip of our nose, down the bridge. I do like to add just a little bit to my brow bone for some extra shimmer. Never have too much shimmer. To the cupid's bow. And then to our cheekbones. My roommate calls this glaze, like on donuts. He's precious. Okay, highlighter on, and we are ready to go in with just a little bit of that setting spray to lock everything in place. I do personally like to wait until after I've done my shadow to do the setting spray. I think it's a nice kind of last line of defense after the primer to keep your eyeshadow really locked in and help it last for hours on end. So let's go ahead and go in with that. I am using the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. Okay, and we're just gonna go in and kind of press that in on the face part. This is how I get my makeup to last in this Texas heat. I just powder and mist and beating that shit in. Okay, now that we have everything set, everything is highlighted and contoured, we're gonna go in and add our lashes and we'll be back for the final look. Alrighty guys, and we are back after applying those lashes, and I did go ahead and finish up with my lipstick. Today we are wearing those Natalie & Cosmetics lashes in Camilla. As you can see, they are ridiculously long. They are nice and thick at the base, but not as thick at the end, so it's not like you're wearing a broom. I call these my princess lashes. They're absolutely so gorgeous and probably one of my favorite styles. And then I did go ahead and end everything with my Smashbox Babe Alert lipstick. It's this gorgeous pink color, and I figured it worked well today with our pink look. So if you enjoyed what you saw today, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe as it helps my channel grow. And coming up here soon, I'll actually be adding the conspiracies side of the channel with an awesome kind of mini-series on exorcisms, what they are, when do they start, where they come from, and are they still being used today? I don't know, I guess you'll have to stay tuned and find out. Thank you for watching, and this was Contour and Conspiracies. My name is Audrey.